Hey guys, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters. Sao Paulo here as we have our second final series of the day, and it's going to determine who is unfortunately eliminated from Group B. Is it going to be Mr. hellokitty from Fnatic, or is it going to be our Brazilian Shakti?
I think hellokitty might be the favorite here, but not going to take too much risk on this one. I mean, Shakti he's a master player. hellokitty is definitely Grandmaster caliber on NA, so a little bit of a difference here. But Shakti definitely has a shot. He played some pretty good game earlier. Unfortunately for him, not able to really eke it out against TLO there at the very beginning. But as you rightly pointed out, he played some good games previously yesterday, only dropping one map during his entire run throughout that bracket. So now we have hellokitty here, looking to fight for his tournament life. Interestingly enough, I was more referring to the second game versus TLO.
The crazy one.
Yes, which I think was very, very close. I really thought he had some lead at some point, but when talking to TLO about it, he thought he never was in any danger, so I don't know. What do you think? TLO
did well with it, and the thing is, he bought so much time with the roaches to get his anti-air up that it was really well done by TLO in the end. But here we have Shakti, his last remaining chance to advance to the next round and then play against TLO once again, if that were to come along. Only 16 years of age, this guy. So he's still got a long way ahead of him, I think, in his career.
Yeah, definitely one of those promising players here. And it kind of felt like what he was missing in that game versus TLO, where they went head-to-head, was some upgrades. So now here, going up against hellokitty, if he plays upgradeless against a Protoss, that will most likely get some +1, +2. That's assuming he plays with a second base, a third base, at least a second base, I think we should see here.
Oh, yeah.
But he's going to have to be careful not to fall behind on upgrades like he did versus TLO, because against a player of this caliber, it's very unforgiving to do so.
And I like actually watching hellokitty play. I got a chance to sit behind him a lot yesterday and see exactly how he was practicing and stuff. He's a very quick player, and I do like his PvZ as well, very methodical about things. But now, guys, let's jump into game number 1 as we have, oopsies, there we go, spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner as our blue Protoss. He is Fnatic hellokitty. And up to the top right, we have our red Zerg fighting for Brazilian pride. He is Shakti.
Shakti here, the local player. This Zerg player, I have to say, Brazil has a lot of Zerg players. It's like the opposite of France. We have everything but Zergs. I guess now we have Firecake.
I have to ask, is Lil Bo your protege?
Depends what. Not really. No matter what you mean, I guess not really, because we are not very close. Like, we didn't talk much before.
It just popped into my mind. I wanted to ask you a few days ago, but then it just kind of came along.
Totally unrelated to this tournament, but it's okay.
I was thinking about WCS, man. Anyway, okay, let's get into this as we have Mr. Shakti sending his Overlord down in the correct direction. All Zergs send it down vertical, just be able to spot out if they're down there.
You know, earlier I was playing some ladder, and it's funny because hellokitty was sitting next to me, and I was like, hey, come watch this game. I'm going to show you one build. And funnily enough, later on I found out that I was playing in Shakti, and the game went very well for me. And now I think hellokitty has realized that, because he's recognized the nickname of Shakti. So he might go for something similar than what I did, which was a one-gate expanse into some light pressure, and then basically a third base later on, and just like a lot of units. Because Shakti, it seemed like he wanted to go for Mutas, but actually it's very interesting positioning on that hatchery first. I think he's definitely going to want to try and trick his opponent. Sadly for him, Kitty is not going for a quick scout. Usually when you do this, well, I guess you don't really hope that your opponent scouts you early, because then he might realize. But if he scouts you first, he's going to see no hatch on the natural until very late, and he's going to think, well, this is definitely a pull into hatchery, so he's not going to cannon rush or anything.
Yeah, it's like he anticipates the scout, but if it doesn't come along, then no harm done. Well, with hellokitty now, just going for that gateway expand, as you rightly pointed out, and quite a bit of gas coming in.
Yeah, this is... Since he went for double gas here, we could be seeing possibly a very quick sentry and then a Stargate. Usually you see a lot of Stargate when Protoss opponent is double gas like this. He doesn't have to let the Zealot finish. And Shakti scouting Kitty first here. He basically, he got kind of lucky, so he knows exactly what he's up against, but he revealed his position, which is going to be very important for the later on aggressions that he might have to face. But I would say build order-wise, I like Shakti's position here. Going for 3 hatchery like this before pool, when your opponent goes for a double gateway, for a gateway plus double gas, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it's very Targa-like if you want to relate to something in WCS Europe that he always loves to do, and it works wonders for Targa. So why not here for Shakti, who's getting the best of all worlds here, just opening up very economically against Kitty.
You think Stargate in the wall or not?
Stargate in the wall sounds cool. I like the idea of that.
Shakti didn't spot the second gas, but he saw the timing on the Nexus.
Yeah. The thing is that someone who loves Stargate in wall is someone who's rising to prominence in the Korean scene, which is Classic. Classic does not give a damn if you spot the Stargate.
He wants you to see it.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'm just going to play standard. I don't care. You can react to this. But look at this. Only one gateway for now, actually. Stargate. Yeah. Awesome. What? Hi, Todd. It's nice to be with you again.
Likewise. All right, we'll see where this goes. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes into Phoenixes right away, but especially considering the positions, this could be an Oracle first. A lot of Protosses, they opt to go for a very quick Oracle when they go for a Stargate like this. So I don't know what Kitty prefers, but considering he went for an Oracle against MC, I guess it's also very likely to go for an Oracle. We'll see in a second. I like how safe he's playing it, by the way. Sentry in the wall, Mothership Core not leaving his base. He knows where his opponent is. He doesn't care what his opponent's doing. Even if his opponent gets like 4 Hatch before pull, then there is no way he's going to be able to saturate them well enough, plus get those 4s on time to defend well everywhere against Oracles or Phoenixes. So he's going to be a Phoenix first. And actually that Overlord's quite fearless here, maybe trying to bait that Sentry to go out of position. He's going to spot that Phoenix as it out.
Yep, and well, the Zerglings getting all the information they need, and with that we also have the double gases being taken behind this for hellokitty. Meanwhile, back at home for Mr. Shakti, no Roach Warren or anything thrown down, so he's not really scared of any bigger gateway pressures. The Overlord's getting a lot of information over here, and just in general, again, I've said it before, but I see a lot of these Zergs from the Brazilian region going for a lot of Ling Hydra plays, and it works.
From Brazil.
Yeah, it does well for them. It does well.
Roach Warren goes down, so this goes against what you said, but he doesn't have to make any roaches. This might be a safety Roach Warren because, as you said, that Overlord Goblin there, it saw the 3 gateways in total. With the one that's in the wall. So he knows that there is the possibility of some proxy pylons being made near his base, and he's going to want to be safe against it. And the 3 spores are pretty well timed. I have to say Shakti has played this pretty well so far, but we're only at the 7th minute here.
Added on 3 queens, so he's going up to a total of 6. He can spread the creep between those bases and then use them for the anti-air as well here in just a little bit, but has to be careful.
Wow. He gets supply blocked at a terrible time here. This is about the time where he's supposed to really take off in drones.
Yeah.
And Shakti is going to go up to 49 drones against 41 probes. This could be a lot better, definitely. As good as he did with the spores, he lost a bunch of Overlords now. I don't think this queen should go down, but has to be careful.
So many queens there congregating for the defense. So that's really, really nicely played by Shakti initially with that creep spreader. Speed is about to finish up, and we have double evolution chamber behind in the main. So this hasn't really been spotted yet by hellokitty. He's trying to do a little bit more damage to these drones. Yeah,
Kitty behind this, he had a Robo and a Forge, which is the most standard thing you can do. You're going to want to get +1, you're going to want to get some Observer, and then possibly tech into Colossus. But in this game, it looks like Shakti wants to go into Zergling heavy style. I guess with all of these queens, this makes sense. This is a bit of a D-Maga-esque style, I guess you could say, where he likes to take to a lot of, basically get a lot of Zergling queens, Infestors if he gets in trouble, and then very quickly to Ultras and more upgrades.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't seen this too much as of late, but I do love it when I see it. I mean, if they can get up to Ultralisks very, very quickly and stuff, it's really cool to watch. But now, Kitty's still putting on the pressure. Actually, supply blocks.
Oh, the sentries! The sentries got surrounded! Oh my god, very late force fields on those. If that Nexus is cancelled, hellokitty is going to be in so much trouble, and I think he's going to get cancelled.
Oh, caught just the
What a huge mistake.
Shakti now really putting on the pressure, forces the cancellation. Great move here by Shakti, realizing that he had to pressure this. He had all the information that it was going down because of that Overlord behind the mineral line.
Absolute disaster of a scenario here for hellokitty. He's getting more probes now, going up to 55, but we have 67 drones spread across 3 bases, even more drones now being made. And Shakti starts a hidden expansion behind this. He knows he has a good advantage. He didn't want to take it closer to his Protoss opponent, just in case maybe he goes for a 2-base timing, which we could see. No, hellokitty restarts the 3rd Nexus, but that does not mean he's not going to go for some kind of timing, because right now, He's on Colossus tech. He's getting a bunch of Void Rays, which is weird because he knows there is a whole bunch of queens against him. So he's going to have to be careful with that. Those might end up being quite useless. Macro hatch going down in the main of Shakti in a funky position, to be honest.
Yeah, it really is. I guess he wants just a little bit of creep spread over there, but he's going to go for the assault once again with these Zerglings. Zealots get really nicely helped by those force fields.
Maybe he could have targeted the Nexus.
Maybe. Actually, you're right, he could have. I mean, that was a lot of Zerglings, but he still would have had to fend off a big chunk of that army, so would have been scary. But now 1-1 finishes up. He starts the Spire behind this.
Wow, and with that hatchery in the main, I really thought that Shakti was going to play it very standard, try and tech to tier 3 possibly. Oh, he cancels the Spire as he sees those 4 Phoenixes flying into his main. Oh, then he remade it somewhere else. He's trying to trick his opponent. He made it in his natural now.
Yeah, I see this.
A bit weird.
Right.
Indecision, man. This is not a good thing when playing in these games of such high caliber here. We've seen Puck struggle with this before.
Or playing heavy mind games. Either way, now he's going to go for another big surround with all of these Zerglings. There's no force fields actually to help this out.
The Colossus?
If a Colossus goes down to Zerglings, that's a bad time, and yes, it does. Second one walks to the high ground, helping itself out nicely. But Shakti in this game, he's in the lead. This is good.
And you know, like, this is the ideal scenario that you want to happen to you when you're taking to Mutas. Look at his gas. This is ridiculous. He's going to do such a huge Muta switch, and he's going to face a Colossus heavy composition. Well, heavy to some extent, because one or two of those just died.
Yeah.
But right now, Kitty's focusing on countering ground. He's even getting a second Robo. Are you kidding me? This is a dream scenario here for Shakti uncovering.
Yeah, he's going to try and go for this round again. All the force fields have been expended. The Zerglings have to run out, realizing that one Colossus could do well. But now the gases are being taken at that 4th base. Getting a 7th and 8th gas geyser, he's going to have like a 25 Muta switch very soon.
God, that's going to be so many Mutas, much more than Kitty can handle, I think. 12. And he hasn't spotted the Spire still. He has no idea. He should be starting to get some kind of idea, because he sees no Hive right now. He does see the 2-2 upgrading right now for his opponent. Oh, maybe a run by in the natural. There is one Zealot.
Yeah, one Zealot blocks that off. The 2 Colossi should be able to deal with this quite helpfully, but actually the Zerglings, once again, get a really good surround on all of this. The Zealots do have +1 weapons against only the +1 Carapace.
Yeah, which is enough usually, but the 2 Colossus here did a ton of damage. There was enough Zealots and Sentries to tank this time, and Kitty is keeping up on supply, but this Mutas transition, he's really not ready for it. He starts Blink just now, and +2 as well.
He saw them with the Observer that's in the middle, but now this is going to be very difficult. He's trying out a lot of gateways in his main base, but he needs units right now. He has no cannons, he has no defense at this base. This is really difficult for him. Where is his Mothership Core? It's out in the middle of nowhere. He can't even photon overcharge.
Where is it?
It's in the middle of the bases in the no man's land.
He's not reacting. He might even end up losing it. Right now, Shakti realizes there is no anti-air.
He has 4 Phoenix and 3 Stalkers now. The Mutalist absolutely going to town. Shakti is going to be able to take this game. The Colossi have no way of being able to deal with this. The Phoenix are falling, and Shakti absolutely destroys his opponent's army. What a fantastic game #1 here by the Brazilians. And he's got Lynx in the 3rd base. Shakti is making this happen. He is absolutely ravaging hellokitty, who is on the ropes and is looking panicked right now. There is nothing here that hellokitty can do. Even Photon Overcharge is not going to help him at all whatsoever. Shakti looks so calm in the face of his opponent, and that Nexus will end up falling. This is so difficult for hellokitty. More bases behind this for Shakti.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it, man. As Phoenix just kind of trying to dance around, but the Corruptor's there to help out as well. And even downward starts to focus down the Forge, but there you go. GG, game #1. Shakti so happy with just that 1 victory. Now he could move on here. If he's able to take the 2-0, this is not something people were expecting.
This will be the biggest upset so far in this tournament, and he's looking very happy here.
Wow.
Kind of reminds me of myself 12 years ago.
Yeah?
When I was his age.
Oh, even that makes me smile, man. Look how happy he is. That's great.
It's not over yet, though.
No, of course.
This was just 1 map.
But he played that game brilliantly.
Yes,
he played that really nicely.
Kitty definitely has to be worried here, as this game, nothing went his way at all. The Phoenix Arrows was good originally.
Yeah.
I mean, the defense was decent enough that Shakti didn't take like a ton of damage. But then from there, hellokitty started falling apart, starting with that sentry that he lost. Those sentries, there was like 5 or 6 of them. They got caught out of position. He was looking at his Phoenixes, so he didn't hear that he was under attack. And then the force fields went down very late, too late. When those 5 or 6 sentries die, I'm not going to say that you lose the game every single time, but you fall very far behind as a Protoss. They were out of position, and he didn't react quickly enough. That's unforgivable, an unforgivable mistake for a pro player.
Well, the thing is, I mean, those sentries, they are there to buy time for you to have a little wall around like a cannon next to that third base, but he never had any opportunity whatsoever to make this happen. And again, it was all down to that one Overlord behind that mineral line that saw that Nexus at that particular time. Really, really nice play here from Shakti, who could make an upset, the first upset happen here in the day number 2 of the Intel Extreme Masters Sao Paulo. So, good play from him so far, but can he close it out, is the question.
Our admin Messioso thinks Shakti looks like a young version of Stefano with his hair.
It's not quite as afro-y, but I get it, I can see it, I can see it. He's looking good though. I really like his focus on melee upgrades. I really do like melee in this matchup.
I was very impressed with his unit positioning, so his engagements, which in this case was basically the surrounds.
Yeah.
His map awareness, the way he caught the army. A lot of Zergs, they would have not tried to extend their lead the way he did. They would have played a lot more passively, get a lot of drones, and then do some later deck. But he not. He knew that he had the 1-1 upgrades. He knew that there was only 1-0 Zealots, so they take 3 hits to kill the Zerglings. He made a ton of Zerglings, and even versus Colossus, he caught his opponent out of position. And this was very important in extending his lead, because against somebody like hellokitty, even though he managed to kill the sentries and then get a cancel on the Nexus, maybe if he hadn't done that, he would have lost. And look, man, he's so happy. Yeah. He needs to stay focused, though.
Yes. Don't get like too complacent here, and just make sure he's able to take this second victory. If he does, he gets the opportunity to get revenge against TLO, who was not in the most amazing of spots against TLO, but you know, he could easily make it happen. So for now, we are just waiting to get into game number 2. Ultrazine Stronghold is our map, and this is a map where, to be honest, I keep saying it when I cast this map, but Protoss can not go Stargate. You have to go Stargate on this map, I feel, unless it's going to be gateway aggression, like very early on. Stargate's the only way to really play this out. Yeah,
with someone like Kitty, he could definitely go for either, but the way he's played the first game, it kind of, to me, felt like his go-to build right now is the Stargate opener. Then again, on a map like Alterzim, I expect him to take a much greedier expansion or quicker expansion than the one he did in the first game. Something with like just 1 gas, or even without a gas, a very quick expansion, and then later on into a gate or forge and possibly Stargate. But we'll see. He's trying to predict what somebody like hellokitty is going to do. It can be very tricky.
Yeah. He looked to try and bust out double robo production there off to 3 bases with a lot of Colossi, but that was just the exact thing he didn't need at that point against a big Mutilus switch, which, to be honest with you, the cancellation of the Spire in the main and then the drop down at the natural once again, the Phoenix didn't spot it. Yeah, but it worked, man. Yeah. So it was okay.
It's funny how he made it in his natural too. Like at first when he canceled, I really thought he was going to make it on the top left-hand side, because that base was hidden.
Oh yeah,
and there was no way Kitty was going to see it there. So he made it in his natural. That was good enough in the end. Very little spores that were made, by the way. Just 1 per base. Usually against 5 Phoenixes, you need to get 2. But
so you can cover the gases as well.
I guess when you kill your opponent's sentries and then you keep him busy with lots of Zerglings, that does not apply.
Well, I gotta say, I like the play and the implementation of the 6 queens as well. Yeah. They were able to congregate with one another and focus down Phoenix and make sure that they weren't dying off, and you know, it kept his production live really nicely. So I was liking everything Shakti was doing there. I think he has a bright future ahead of him if he sticks at it. It's good. It was good. I mean, like, yeah, it was 1 game, but it was a good game. What, man? I'm not like being too overconfident about it. It's like, yeah, he's the next Bonjour, but whatever.
He's the next Stefano.
Yeah, man.
That's the chosen one.
Yeah, you know how like Brazilians are really good at football? Like this guy suddenly breaks onto the scene, he's like really good at StarCraft. Like,
That would be great, man.
Yeah, it would be cool. All right, guys. Well, we are good to get into game number 2 here. Shakti currently 1 game up against hellokitty, looking to advance on. And I am loving these games so far. It might be warm here, but this is pretty awesome. This kid is so happy right now. He's 1 game away from advancing on to play against TLO once again.
Yeah, he needs to be careful. The dream could turn into a nightmare here if he does not focus enough. And I have to say, with the way that previous game went, he definitely should be a lot more relaxed than he was in the first game. He looked tense for some time, and now having won the first game, this should give him the confidence to basically tell to himself that he can just play the way he wants to play, and if he does it good enough, it's gonna work, because it did work before.
All right, well, countdown's begun, guys. Game number 2 here between hellokitty and Shakti to see who advances on to the next round.
Yeah, and we're going to be getting the game underway here in a second, as we still do see Shakti on the screen. Oh, he looks very nervous all of a sudden. The smile is gone. He's breathing very heavily. Did you see that?
Yes, yes, I did. All right, game number 2 here, as we have spawning down to the south position as our red Zerg. Currently 1 game up, representing Brazil, it is Shakti. And up to the top right, we have our blue Protoss. Representing Fnatic, it is hellokitty.
All right, Alterzim is going to be a very different map than the
what is going on? What is this?
What? Are you kidding me?
He's going to try and cannon rush.
Possibly. hellokitty here.
That's all I can think of.
He does not want his opponent again to open with a very quick 3 hatchery and make a lot of drones, which on this map, he's fairly close to unstoppable because of that indoor natural expansion.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree with you. I do think he's going to be some sort of very quick cannon rush. This is crazy here.
Yeah.
I have not seen that ever on this map. I've thought of it, but I never had the guts to try it.
Yeah. No, I have not seen it on this map either. So he's going to throw down a forge and then send that second probe out. So it goes down to the bottom right-hand corner as the other one heads down there. But that being said, right now he's doing this a little bit slower than I was expecting. So yeah, this is weird.
Maybe he scouts very early on to know exactly what he's up against, and then he still goes for a Nexus, but then why would you scout so early?
Yeah.
Maybe he was worried of a cheese.
Maybe, well, I guess.
And Shakti is not going to take the indoors hatchery.
I think what he does is he throws down the Nexus, then still goes Forge, and uses this probe that's very early sent out, assuming that his opponent thinks that it's going to be a Nexus first anyway, to try and make a cannon rush work?
Yeah, it's possible, but it will be very hard to pull off. Look at the minerals on this map. Behind the minerals is where you want to make the cannons. He's not going to have enough room to make them in a safe position, so I think he might even go gateway behind this, which will mean, in this case, that he scouted very early on just to make sure he doesn't get cheese on this map.
I guess so. Well, there is the Forge. I still think it's going to be the cannons, man.
Yeah.
Like there's no other reason that I can possibly think of. Wait, oh, that drone on the high ground, he saw the probe.
Wow. Sick game sense. He's going to be able to send enough drones possibly down the ramp to stop this, man.
Wow.
This is going to be so important. If he stops this comfortably and Kitty commits to it too much, this is going to be no good for him. Now I expect to cancel.
Yeah. The one great thing for hellokitty is he didn't fully commit. Like it's Nexus into Forge, so he still has the economy available to him, but he really wanted this. He lost a lot of mining time with that one probe.
And you know, this might be why he threw down the hatchery here first. Because he thought that if this happens, he would have a more comfortable or easier time holding it.
Yeah, because you can't cannon this back expansion. That would be really, really weird if that were to happen. Whereas the creep spread at the natural in the front of the base, that would help to get a spine down later, etc., etc.
This wasn't bad for hellokitty, though. He stopped a lot of mining time. 5 drones killing a pylon takes quite some time. So right now, he's going to be in an okay position with 20 probes against 19 drones. He has his second base just finished. He's going to start combusting out exclusively probes. He did delay his tech, and he's going to be careful not to make his cannon too late to be able to defend against those Zerglings. And then we'll see if he goes into a Stargate or not. What do you think?
I think probably Stargate again, yeah. I can't really see anything more than that. Normally you would probably try and open for a gateway expand if you were going to put on some gateway pressure, right? So I think it has to be Stargate from here. And
Shakti, he spotted the Forge and the gateway here, so he knows exactly where he's at in this game. He knows what timing can be hit here in a moment. It's going to be very hard for him to scout, by the way, on this map. If he tries and get into his opponent's base with an Overlord, there could be a Stalker denying it, and he might even not end up spotting what he has to see. By the way, no cannon being made still. Zerglings might be able to get into the main if they try, and they might try. One lone Zergling. Oh, it turns around. He's going to be killed.
little bit of a shame there for Shakti. Could have exploited that, but in the grand scheme of things now, hellokitty gets to get away from it. He's getting a +1 quite quickly here.
Yeah, we might see some kind of 4 gateways or even more aggression here. Oh, Twilight goes down in the corner of his base. This is what I was talking about. This is very hard on this map to scout. And look, there is only one Overlord in position to possibly do it, and he's on the other side of the base of hellokitty. And okay, by the way, nice pylon. He had to do that to fix his wall because it was quite wide. You see the gateway is misplaced a little bit.
Yeah. That's right, it is. So that's a bit of an annoyance here for hellokitty. And this one, Overlord, is just being scouted out so easily by the Stalker.
Seeing a Stalker this early, and hellokitty really saying, I don't want you to scout me, this might ring a bell for Shakti here. He might be able to basically tell that there is going to be some kind of attack coming in. By the way, the probe was very well hidden out on the map. He's going to be making a pylon on the high ground here, and I think he's going to go for 4 gateways, +1, followed by Dark Templars, which is a deadly build. In particular, if you don't see it coming. And in this case, I don't see how Shakti could see it coming.
Scary stuff here for Shakti. Will he be able to react in time? He's adding on Spore Crawlers. He thinks it's probably a Stargate opener. As I said before, I feel that Stargate opener is really common on this, so that's what he's preparing for. But in the end, it could end up just countering the Dark Shrine in turn.
That will be very fortunate. The thing is, +1 Zealots are not going to joke around with this. And with only Zerglings, that could be made. Now, I guess the Roach one is about to finish, but can he see this attack coming early enough to make the units he needs to defend this? Right now, Shakti is not trying to scout any proxy positions. And if he realizes there are Zealots the moment they reach his mineral line, it might be too late.
And the thing is, he saw with the Overlord, the +1 has just finished up, so now he has to be careful. He had 4 Overlords in production. He's actually adding on more drones.
Oh, wow.
That could be bad. Yeah.
Pulling a bit of a ret here for a moment.
Oh, well. That could be deadly, it really could. +2's already started, but those Zealots are now on the way. Carapace is certainly nowhere near done, certainly not even started here for these Zerglings, so they're going to have a hard time against +1 Zealots.
Some more links, definitely going to help, but he needs Roaches. 4 Roaches start. What is that drone doing? Almost ran to his death here.
Yeah, he has to be careful. Poor little guy. He's trying to be
baiting the Zealots, what?
What is going on? He gets corralled, but that's 4 DTs as well. If they focus down that Spore Crawler, Leia is not done.
Oh, he needs to pull the drones. He reacts very, very slowly, and that Spore is definitely going to die here. He needs to move the one from the main.
Bye-bye Spore, no more vision from this point out. He cannot see those Dark Templars that now go to work on everything as well. With those Zealots, this is going to be really, really hard here for Shakti to hold on. The Roaches do come down to try and help this out. The Leia is not finished, nowhere near finished as the 3rd base gets focused down. hellokitty zoning out the Roaches with these Dark Templars and using the Zealots on the hatchery. Very, very clever, but at the same time, he did have vision there.
Kitty was not paying attention to his Dark Templars, losing 3 Dark Templars like this. Killing nothing of the ramp. This is a huge mistake, but he did get the 3rd base. How many drones were killed, actually? Quite a bunch.
13,
yeah.
Wow,
this might be a little too much here. I mean, Kitty, he definitely has a lead right now.
Yeah, he's following this up with a Blink +2 assault, which can hit very, very hard.
Yes.
So now...
Oh, no.
This is going to be difficult.
Spire.
Oh, Spire. Yeah.
This is really bad news here for Shakti, as he has no idea this is going to hit Kitty here. I think he was trying to fake taking a 3rd base, but he has no intention to do that. He's cut pro production very early on with 16 in his main on the mineral, 17 in the natural. Gonna be hitting a very strong timing here. And look, he's even getting evos. This is a nightmare scenario in this game. Yeah. Taking 2 bases at the same time. He's gonna see those Stalkers here in a second. And I'm afraid this might be... He might have to cancel his natural. I think that will be his best chance.
He needs all the money he can get, right?
Yeah. So cancel the Spire too.
I mean, he's got a little bit of lava, but not really the money to spend it. He's trying to get out a few more units where he can, but that is so many Stalkers with +2, and Blink just finishes. So a very difficult hold on the way here for Shakti, especially if he kills off Overseers. He could just warp in a DT or 2 and make this even harder.
Yes, but 16 links are on the way, and Kitty doing this so well right now. He didn't waste any time trying to snipe the hatchery. He knew that this was going to be useless. He gets right to the units. Where's the Overseer? The other one's
it died.
Oh, it's not sniped.
He has to warp in another one, yeah. Forwards, pylon as well. DT leads the charge. Those Stalkers going to try and bring down that Overseer maybe. But just blinking back on this ramp makes it so hard for these Zerglings and Roaches to do anything against this army. A few Mutalisks are on the way, but realistically, against that many Stalkers, it's just hit critical mass.
Yeah, there is no way Shakti's going to have enough. Those Roaches not even attacking right now. He's trying to get Burrow, which will help, but if he loses all of his Roaches before, man, this is like those Protoss that lose all their Stalkers before Blink's finished.
And it's going to be bye-bye Shakti in game number 2. GG! hellokitty ties up the series 1-1. We are going to go on to game number 3. He's in the zone now. Look at him bobbing away. All right.
Nice build. Nice choice of build here by Kitty, completely catching his opponent off guard and using basically the map as well as he could with the overlay. You know, it's very hard to scout. I feel like this was very smart, and now Shakti has to think about what were his mistakes. And I would say taking to lair earlier, or at least reacting. You know, he could have reacted with the drones on the expansion. If he saved that spore, he has a chance to hold. But now he saw this coming way too late. He didn't scout for proxy pylons, which when you play against a good Protoss, if you don't find the proxy pylons and he goes for an attack, you're already in trouble. Because he's already leading the game, you're not denying anything, units are going to get in there, and even if you get enough units, a lot of the time you're going to be in trouble. In this case, there was not enough units on time, plus the spore died.
All right, well, that means we are tied up 1-1 apiece. And now we'll go on to game number 3 in just a second, seeing if one of Brazil's hopes, Mr. Shakti, can advance on. Of course, they still have a few more players left in the tournament, including Tunico, a player that maybe a few more people know internationally. We've seen him play in WCS Brazil and WCS South America in 2012. Haven't really seen him since much, but...
what are his biggest achievements?
Tunico, those 2 tournaments I just mentioned.
Participating, you mean? Or?
I think, well, like... He did all right for himself, I think, going up against players like Nax, who I remember very fondly from back in 2012, and I think he played against Levin as well during that. But yeah, Tunico's probably one of the more known Brazilian players. Levin, I think, pipped him at the post to go to the global finals in 2012 in China. So, anyway.
Heavy rain, last map.
Heavy rain. Do you like heavy rain from a Protoss point of view against Zerg?
Not really.
No?
Against Warmos, it's pretty difficult, but there are some things that you can do, and I guess I'm not really used of the map just yet. I'll take a bit of time, personally, to adjust to the maps. Then again, Kitty here is a guy who has a lot of build orders, and I'm sure that if he chooses the right one here, he's going to do well. So we'll see. In the first game, I really feel like he wasn't himself. Like, you cannot really expect Kitty to play bad or underperform many games in a row. Like in the first game, it really feels like it was a one-time thing. As good as Shakti played, it was really huge mistakes from Kitty that allowed him to win. And he's still smiling, man.
Yeah, he's he seems to be happy with his current performance. I think he's very content that he took 1 map, never mind anything else. But good on him, as now we're going to be getting into game number 3 in just a second, as soon as our Brazilian, Portuguese casters do join. But it's going to be good. I've enjoyed these previous games. Now we're looking to get into the final one. The winner will advance on to play against TLO for that 4th spot in the round of 8. We already have some phenomenal players there. MC made it look, well, okay, the first game against TLO was a little bit shaky, but he advances on very nicely. He even gave the little Subsun little thing at the very end of that.
It's the Bostos, man. What else do you expect than good celebrations?
I think ever since we had the Katowice announcement about 100K, these guys, they want top 2 more than anything. Of course, it's nice to win a tournament, but top 2 guarantees yourself a spot at that 16-man tournament for 100K. That's a big deal. And now let's get into game number 3. 1-1 apiece, spawning up to north position as our red Zerg. He is Shakti.
Sounded like Jakji a little bit.
Shakti, Jakji? Oh, I hope
Imagine
they don't. Oh, no, that would be horrible. I almost had to cast Cass versus Crass at 2012 Copenhagen Games, and I was so glad it didn't happen. And anyway, spawning down to the southern position as our Fnatic representative, it is hellokitty.
Looks like Kitty is going to revert back to a gateway expansion on this map, which makes sense. With that ramp, can be a little bit difficult to wall off on time and be safe against a lot of things. If you open gateway, you're relatively safer against any kind of early on attack or cheeses that your opponent might do. And I wonder, Kitty, he definitely realized that he was up against 3 hatcheries before pulling the first game. He saw it in the second game. Now, how does he go from there in the third game to try and counter it as best as possible?
I'm not sure. I guess send, like send Zealots over really aggressively?
Possibly, yeah. If he goes for something like 3 gateways, 4 gateways, he can start warping in Zealots across the map. Sand style. He just kills his opponent with those, but not everybody can pull it off like Sand.
No, man, he's the Zealot king. He does whatever he wants with Zealots. It's as if his Zealots have a ranged attack. They're crazy. But look at this. Third at a bit of a weird location once again here from our Zerg player.
Yeah. You mean first expansion?
Well,
at the third location, yes.
You know what I mean, Tom.
Yes. I know you.
Thank you, thank you. All right. And 3 guys straight in 1 gas here for hellokitty as well, so not as aggressive income of gas here.
I think he's not going to go for second gas this game, which I like better against this from his opponents. It's interesting that Shakti does this every game. Like, I would understand like 1 or 2 games, but doing it this often definitely surprises me. And
it looks like he's going to get away with it.
All right, Kailaris, it's time for a short question/quiz. Does he cancel the Zealot or not?
Yes.
Okay, I say not.
You say no?
Yeah, let's see.
You think he's going to go straight over to that third?
I think you keep the Zealot just to be safe, I guess, early on rushes, and okay, it looks like he sends the probe so that he's going to cancel. Damn it. Oh, no, actually.
Oh!
Lets it finish.
Damn it.
So definitely should be looking to add a Nexus behind this and then get the Mothership Core to start and pressure very early on.
Normally that lines up really nicely, but there you go. hellokitty is just going to have that Zealot as compensation here. And, you know, Shakti saw all of this, so he's okay right now. He's sitting pretty.
Warp Gate was started already before the Mothership Core, which is not the way you always do this build. Usually you get Nexus, Mothership Core, and then Warp Gates more often. But Kitty, this might not be his go-to build. Usually I think he plays a lot more with double gas and then into a Stargate. But considering how it went the one game that he did Stargates, he's probably going to play differently here. And second gas before he adds on extra gateways here, so we could still be seeing a Stargate later on in the game.
I would like to see that out of hellokitty. Really do like the Stargate play from him. As we'll see how Shakti's going to prepare. The thing is that Shakti, by the looks of things, from seeing how he's reacted in the past with the Spore Crawlers and the 6 Queen style, I think he's really, really good against that Phoenix style. I mean, yes, he took a bit of damage, but he seems pretty prepared.
What it takes to be good against Phoenix, you make Spores and Queens.
Spores and Queens, man.
Everybody can be good against Phoenixes.
Dude, it does right. I'm going to accept this.
The probe's getting caught out of position, he's going to get chased down, and he might die. This is a big deal, because he's adding on 2 extra gateways now. And I think you should always have this option to put on some pressure, and now he's lost it.
Bad times for him.
Oh, he throws down a Twilight below this Overlord.
Did he really?
He's going to cancel when this Overlord dies.
Yeah, he absolutely, it has to be fake. It's in a really weird position.
Yeah, he could have put it just right above this small, I don't even know what to call it, like a small mountain, I guess.
Little cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And there's actually a pylon going down at the front as well for some 3 gateways worth of aggression. So
yeah, so another probe had to be sent out. Not the best start here by hellokitty, but there is no speed on the way. There might be enough Zerglings to deny this cannon here. No.
These are the first 2 gases that have been added on here for Shakti, so he's going to have to defend with slow links. His Roach Warren is a little bit later than I was expecting to do with 3 gateways, and he actually lets the Twilight Council finish. He's researching Blink very quickly.
Wow, and the 3rd Queen came out at the natural, so he cannot inject in his main, which I guess he's fine about, because Shakti had 3 archeries very early on, so he's getting a ton of drones, some Zerglings right now, and if he does fine against this pressure, he should be okay in the game. But he needs to get speed started very quickly here, as he's going to face, I think, a ton of Stalker. We'll see how many gateways hellokitty adds.
Zergling's looking to maybe go for an engagement. He has some saved up at his natural as well. He's keeping these Zealots dancing, so they're not doing any damage just yet. But as the Zealot count rises, the Zergling count diminishes. But that is going to be replaced by those Roaches to make it easier.
Where are you going?
Bye-bye, Queen. Bye-bye. Well, it was nice knowing you. But anyway, these Zerglings also... They've bought a lot of time for the Roaches, man. This is okay.
Speed still didn't start. I think this is a huge mistake here. He's definitely going to need speed.
Do you think he doesn't have enough with the Roaches?
No. He needs a ton of speed links to hold the Blink Stalker all in like this.
Oh, the follow-up, you mean. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. This is going to be a little bit difficult then. hellokitty's playing this out really nicely, despite Shakti being up in terms of supply.
Imagine if hellokitty starts getting a ton of Blink Stalkers, which is what he's going to do now. He's just going to be able to stutter step very nicely against these Roaches and Links, which are also slow.
Yeah, those Zealots trading the right way.
I'm surprised he's fighting right now. He definitely... Look, there is no speed. He can just get away.
Yeah, as long as he's going to get the pylon. But I think that probe is still alive down to the south. So just slightly down to the south. That's going to make it a big deal. But that Overlord died after seeing a few more gateways.
He's looking for more pylons, and he might run into the probe, man.
If he doesn't kill that... Oh, okay, he turns around and kills it. Very important here. Despite being supply block, really needs to get out of that very quickly.
Wow.
Needs a lot more units.
Crouching probe, hidden pylon, copyright tasteless.
Dude, this is... Well, actually, it looks like he's going to go for a 3rd here. Oh, no, he's sending that probe up to the north so he can throw down more pylons.
But possibly, he's not... I don't know. This is going to hit so late. You see, right now he's going to be sticking out his gateways. He's got 6 of them, but Kitty didn't even close his wall again. He lost the probe. He's saturated poorly on his natural. This is such a weird game.
Weird times. Speed is now started.
Oh, wow. I thought he was going to go for the third base, but no, he's going to be stubborn here.
Yeah, the probe got spotted and was killed off, so now this is a lot slower as we do get towards this.
And now double speed started.
Yeah, double speed, man.
Speed Link, Speed Roach, and Burrow. Shakti, man. I like his position in this game. But he needs to be careful not to engage too early. He's moving across the map now. Even though he has a lot of units, if the force fields are perfect, this is going to be good for hellokitty here.
Yeah, this could be a little bit scary.
He's going to scout the third base. I think he thought there was a third base, and now upon realizing there isn't, he should be going home. But if Shakti gets force fielded here out of position, this is going to be a disaster for him. And actually, that wall is not closed. There is some links there.
Yeah, and always, I mean, Shakti is keeping an eye on, hellokitty is keeping an eye on that army with his mothership core, and it's not really going contested. But that's a lot of Zerglings that we have in production with speed just about to finish up. So this army could get surrounded pretty easily. He only has 5 sentries there.
A single link spots the pylon at that one probe. And how many probes have died this way?
So many. Really so many. And there's one pylon there to reinforce, but it's not really that close. This army is now positioning itself.
And Burrow is finished now.
Uh-oh. This could get really bad. He needs to take an advantageous position. He needs force fields in between these 2 locations. And there we go. He does throw down some preemptive ones to make sure he doesn't engage. Army supply is very heavily in favor of Shakti at this moment.
To say the least. Almost double here. As hellokitty is going to keep on remaking a lot of stalkers here. He's going to get surrounded here in a second. Shakti needs to be careful not to engage too early here. He was going to go around with his roaches. He's doing a good job buying time, not letting his opponent reach an ideal position, though.
But also, he's trading away a lot of these force fields that might not happen in engagement.
He has too much. There's no force fields anymore.
Roaches
no quadrant shield.
Easily crushed through a lot of that, and now we have to retreat out of there as quickly as possible. Shakti is on the pursuit. Shakti is looking for a killing blow here, or at least keeping his opponent really far back. Army supplies 98 to 44 at this point. The Roaches pushing on through. Blink Stalkers, are they going to be able to hold down? They should be able to. For the moment, Time Warp also lands to try and seal a lot of this off, as well as the Photon Overcharge. Blink Stalkers trying to hold this at bay. +1 did finish for a lot of these Stalkers as well, but now the Roaches trying to push on through. There's really not that many Stalkers left, as more and more Roaches try and push across the map here, but they have to back out to try and get to those reinforcements.
Yeah, Shakti might back away for a second here, but he's already done enough damage. 78 army supply to 38, and hellokitty in so much trouble. Another gateway is going to die. That Photon Overcharge will run out. He has no detection. He has a forge, but no robo. He throws down a robo upon seeing this, but this is too late. I'm sorry.
Scary times. Those Roaches on Burrow once again with more Zerglings flooding on in. He needs to blink back so well to be able to hold this off. He is losing a lot of those Roaches, but there's 17 Roaches in production. The army supply is always in favor of Shakti here as he now pushes on forward. He has to fall on back once again, but he's done a little bit of damage to his opponent's production.
Yeah, the odds are always in Shakti's favor so far in this game with this great production and counter and reads overall. I don't know how you come back from there as hellokitty. I guess you have to get a whole bunch of sentries and try to get some perfect force fields. That was his biggest weakness in those previous fights, but Shakti is going to move in there. He wants to finish the game.
He doesn't want to get too overzealous. He's in a good position here. He's going to bring down another gateway. And he's just going to reinforce as aggressively as possible. With that clearer constitution, obviously, those Roaches can get over there very quickly. An Observer is in production.
Keep in mind, Shakti is all in. He has no upgrades going. Kitty is trying to get his +2 here. If he does complete that, he will be in a good position, but there's too many Roaches.
The Roaches get right on top of those Stalkers now. They have to blink back as best they can do here. 33 Roaches out on the field. They're reinforcing as quickly as they possibly can do, but the Observer is there. If he burrows, then they are still going to be sitting ducks. The Stalkers trying to blink back, trying to get more defensive positions here as the Roaches now push on forwards. They're still on top of these Stalkers. There's really not that many of them left. Only 12 against 25. More and more Roaches, more and more Zerglings pile on forwards, but hellokitty now blinks forwards aggressively here, but that might be a little bit of a mistake. It depends. A lot of those Stalkers are very, very low. The probes have to come off the line as well to try and hold this on.
The army supply right now 23 to 61. There is too much.
This is too much. A lot of probes have died off as well. 15 behind this. It's 52 workers against 33 as the Zerglings continue the pressure. The torrents, the waves of Zerglings, the swarms come. And now hellokitty is staring down the barrel of a gun. 13 more Roaches in production. He holds on for now, but how much longer can this continue?
The swarm is going to proceed forwards. 16 more Roaches, 18 more Zerglings, and there's just going to be too much. Kitty's getting some Zealots, but even though they kill Zerglings in 2 hits at this point, he's about to get +2, but if you look at the supply, I mean, there is no way. This will be even sicker than MVP versus Tefel, man.
It would be a sick recovery. Maybe he'll be able to make it work with +2 weapons now finished. That's a big deal.
Keep in mind there is Burrow, but no, he has Observer.
Yeah,
he might end up holding here. If he gets perfect force fields and he holds on a little bit more, he has +2 now.
Nice force field,
he needs to get
a little bit of that off.
Only sentries and Zealots from now. He has enough Stalkers, he has +2.
Shakti has to be careful about this. He has to be very careful. He's got a few more Roaches on the way, but now, okay, there's only 8 Stalkers in here. If he can kill those Zealots, then the Stalkers need to blink properly. That's a lot of Roaches! A lot of Roaches now pathwaying on through. And will hellokitty be able to hold? The Roaches get right on top of those Stalkers. There's no energy for Photon Overcharge. There's absolutely nothing. 32 Roaches on the field as Shakti now likes to rip through this natural. And it's gonna be, there you go, GG! Shakti, the Brazilian hope here in Group B, is able to advance on. He keeps his hopes alive against TLO in the next round.
That is a happy man, if I've ever seen one.
A happy man indeed. A happy man. And he creates the first upset here at the Intel Extreme Masters in Group B. Look at the smile on that man's face. Performing very well. It looked a little bit shaky there at the end. It might not have gone his way, but he was able to continue on for great victory.
Why is he unplugging his stuff? He has to play TLO.
Yeah, man, he's like, I'm done, that's it.
I'm through.
One win, it's over, it's over. Oh well, hellokitty not happy with this result. He's gonna have to go back to the hotel and do some more homework for college because he is done today. Poor guy. And there you is, Shakti, advancing on to the final match here in Group B.
Great performance here out of him, I have to say. That second game, he didn't... I really thought that the first game, as well as he played, I didn't think still that he was going to win, even though he played pretty well. I thought that Kitty from there was going to bounce back, and he showed that in the second game. And then you have that third game where Kitty seems a little bit lost, he doesn't wall off very, very well, and Shakti finds every single proxy pylon, and in particular, probes are on the map. He found like the 3 first or the 4 first ones.
He was doing really well about it.
And he sniped every single proxy pylon, and then that timing was coming in so late. He got Burrow, he identified what he was up against very early on, and he was able to hold very comfortably from there. Even if the force fields had been good, which they were not, I do think that Shakti would have been able to get a better end of the fight, just because he had Burrow against no detection. Remember Jaedong versus SOS? Oh, dear.
Yeah.
That was very scary.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for our second final match, but don't go anywhere. Get with us after the break, as we'll have our final series of the day. It's going to be TLO versus Shakti.